This is Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm Owen James, and this is all your latest Rangers news, guys. Just a quick update as the transfer window careers towards a halt tomorrow night. Yes, that's right. By the end of tomorrow, we will know what Rangers squad will be, at least until January. All these rumours, these incessant stories in the media will stop. I guess we'll still hear stories of who's missed out on who, but it appears obviously that Rangers are trying to get business done ahead, obviously, of the deadline day. Well, obviously today we're hoping that that the confirmation will come through of Scott Wright's transfer to Birmingham City, and also Todd Cantwell's transfer to Blackburn Rovers, which I still think is a bit of a sin, considering £500,000. That is the fee currently being talked of for a player once allegedly worth £50 million. And the fact that Celtic sold Mikey Johnston for £2.5 million, a player that hardly ever plays, yet we can only get £500,000 for Todd Cantwell. I think that is very, very bad business on our behalf. I think it's obviously been sort of depressed the value a little bit by the fact that we did stick him in the B team, made it quite clear that we didn't want him, made it quite clear that he had no part to play, whereas I suppose Celtic didn't do that with Mikey Johnston. So, that's the case of it. I think Rangers do have a lot of learning to do coming out of this transfer window about how to sell players and how to deal with players in terms of getting them out and getting money for them and getting correct value for them. Anyway, let's talk a little bit of centre-backs. So we know that Ben Davies has departed the club. He is already with Birmingham City. This leaves our centre-back room looking a little bit short in areas. So, for example, we have, as we know, John Souttar, we have Robin Propper, we have Leon Balogun. Balogun obviously does suffer with his injury issues. Propper is just coming back from injury. Souttar, there is Leon King, who is still at the club, despite interest from Salford City. Other than that, you're then talking into the likes of Clinton Ciala, who, the manager has proved reticent to actually use in the first team squad this year. So, he doesn't seem to be figuring at all. So, look, the centre-back depth looks a little bit weak after Souttar and Propper and Balogun. There seems to be very little else. So, it does appear that Rangers are doing all they can to try and get a centre-back across the line before the transfer window closes on tomorrow on the 30th of August. So let's see what's happening. Yeah, it was Kaiky Fernandez, the Brazilian defender from Almeria in Spain. Now, obviously, Almeria, a Segunda División team in Spain. Rangers thought they could obviously take advantage of this, get the player, bring him into Ibrox. Now, they offered a huge initial loan fee between 650,000 and €1 million, with a £6 million transfer fee at the end of this season, and also as well a sell-on clause as well with him. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, who broke the original story of Rangers' bid for Kaiky Fernandez, that now is definitely dead and over. Almeria are unwilling to sell Kaiky Fernandez. They want to keep hold of him for another season. They want to obviously increase his value by playing him regularly in their first team, and obviously getting a lot more money for him next summer or in January. So it looks very much like the Kaiky Fernandez deal is dead and buried, and that is from a very reliable source in Fabrizio Romano. That's a real shame. He would have been a very good player, a dominant, good ball-playing centre-half, quality player, quality tackler, just a all-round quality lad. So I think that would have been a really good signing for the club had we managed to get that one over the line. So that is a real shame that Kaiky Fernandez obviously is off the list. Now, the one we talked about in this morning's video was this man here, Nsoki, who is obviously currently with Hoffenheim. Nsoki is a player who, Stanley Nsoki, obviously, French player, Democratic Republic of Congo registered as well. Now, there is one or two concerns over this guy's fitness. Apparently, so there is one or two concerns over this guy's fitness. Now, apparently, Nsoki averages 16 games a year only. So this is obviously one that has got a few Rangers fans uptight and worried about the situation, not wanting, obviously, to bring in a player who is injury prone. I mean, heaven knows we do seem to sign enough of those injury prone players, don't we? But it now looks like the Nsoki deal is also dead and buried, as well as numerous sources this morning in France reporting that Nsoki will join Lille on a permanent transfer, not a loan to buy, a permanent transfer. Hoffenheim more happy with a permanent deal for the player rather than, of course, a loan to buy. So that one appears to be dead and buried now as well. A very short-lived one, that one. Would have been a useful player, I think. Big lad, strong lad. Injury concerns aside, a player that, you know, could have perhaps come in and done a job in a squad rotation. So that's another dead and buried one. Now, we did report the other day that Rangers are working on multiple centre-back targets. So you've got to hope it's more than 2, that it's 3, 4, 5. We've got a few names lined up still that we could go and look at. You know, this obviously, the window is ticking down. The time is ticking down. The pressure is definitely raising on Niels Koppen and the football board to get some deals done and deals over the line. You know, preferably, I would like to see 1 or 2 deals done today. You know, so, and I'm not just talking about Cantwell and Wright gone. I'm talking about also bringing in another couple of names. You know, it's got to be done soon. Apparently, the presser has been moved from Friday to Saturday for the Old Firm game. So maybe that is obviously to do with signings deadline. I don't know. Or maybe it's just they don't get absolutely slaughtered when we don't sign anybody on Friday. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is there, but that's apparently what's happened. The presser has been moved to Saturday. Right, guys, look, that's where we're up to at the moment. We do need some signings in desperately. I'm hoping by the time you've watched this video, we've actually signed some players. Some players come into Ibrox. We've addressed the positions of need. The Badrami deal's been done. Hopefully the centre-back's been signed. You know, I'd love all that to happen. Confident, and not so much at this moment in time. Guys, let me know what you think of these stories. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please smash that sub. On the way out, please do me 2 favours. Number 1, if you've liked the content, smash the like. And always remember, we are the people.